Welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Rainer, this is Rainier Books. It's Sunday today, and on Tuesday, midnight on Tuesday, British Standard Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time +1, because we're still in the summer, the Booker jury, the Booker Foundation will release the shortlist for the Booker Prize in Fiction in 2020, and I have worked really hard on that long list here. I have the long list written down here. I made notes. I watched lots of videos from other booktubers. Here is my prediction for the Booker Prize Shortlist 2020. Let's get started. I was thinking that Hilary Mantel is seated as number one. She is going to win this. I'm pretty sure about it. She's going to win this. That's also the reason why she didn't had a chance in winning the Women's Prize. She was in a shortlist, but she wasn't chosen. Chosen was Maggie O'Farrell and her beautiful novel, Hamnet. But there's a sticker on her book, on Hilary Mantel's The Mirror and the Light, that she's nominated that she was shortlisted for the International Women's Prize, and another sticker on the book that says that she is longlisted for the book, and soon there will be another where it says that she's shortlisted, with the new copies of the book being delivered to the bookshops everywhere around the world, 2 stickers. So this is sure. I was sure that Hilary Mantel makes it, that's no question. And there's no book that is comparable to Mantel's book on the list. There are 2 groups of books that I saw, that I identified. We have 2 books with an African connection, with women from Africa as the authors. Tsitsi Dangarembga's This Mournable Body, which is the third part of a trilogy, third and final part of a trilogy. And we have The Shadow King by Maaza Mengiste, which is covering the history of the Italian occupation of Ethiopia. And I think that for reasons of diversity, only one of those titles is going to make it to the shortlist. And I think that one title is going to make it to the shortlist for reasons of diversity. And I think this is Tsitsi Dangarembga for This Mournable Body. I think that she will make it for several reasons. It's a very big work that she has done with this trilogy over the course of almost all her adult life. I think 25 years, from the first to the last, from Nervous Conditions to the last book, This Mournable Body. And there's also a lot of political reasons included, because in her native Zimbabwe, Tsitsi Dangarembga was arrested, and during the protests a couple of weeks ago she was released, and in order to support her and to support her great work that she has done with this trilogy, Tsitsi Dangarembga is going to make the shortlist of the Booker Prize. That's the second title. And with that, Maaza Mengiste disappears. Another book that is going to disappear from the longest to the shortlist is Colum McCann's Apeirogon. The reason is, I think there are 2 reasons for that. One reason is that there was a certain criticism that an Irish man living in the United States, I think he's an American citizen right now, writes a novel about the conflict between Israel and Palestine, that he sort of is not a true, authentic voice writing about that conflict. And the second problem for the Booker jury would be that there have been allegations of sexual misconduct, to say the least, of Mr. McCann. There were allegations against Mr. McCann on Twitter that he has assaulted a woman, which is nothing that went to trial, or I don't know if it even was reported to the police, but Roxane Gay, who has a very strong voice in the American feminism debate, has supported the allegations against McKenna. I don't think that the Booker jury wants this kind of trouble that could be behind this story to come into the Booker Prize when it's going to be shortlisted. So 2 reasons why Conor McKenna is not will not be shortlisted. Connie Reed would not be shortlisted for such a fun age. I liked that book a lot. It was beautiful reading, it was easy reading, it was also reading with purpose, because this novel really has to say something about social media, about liberal white people in the United States and their desire to show that they are anti-racist, with very strange behaviors at times. And that's really a very interesting sujet and a very interesting novel, such a fun age. Read it if you have it. Another group of novels was, another pair for me was Douglas Stewart's debut novel Shuggie Bain, which is a novel from the working class in Glasgow in Scotland, and Gabriel Krauze's Who They Was, from gangs in London. And I think the one who makes it to the final is Gabriel Krauze, Who They Was, because it's a very fresh voice, like Doug Stewart as well is a fresh voice, but this is London in the contemporary London, and I think it seems, after having heard about both novels, I think it's more contemporary and more important right now for the discussion and for current events to have Krauze's novel in the final. So, Gabriel Krauze is going to make it. Who's not going to make it is Real Life by Brandon Taylor, but he's not going to make it because there are other novels that are going ahead of him. Not going to make it to the final is Anne Tyler's Redhead by the Side of the Road. I read that novel. I talked about it yesterday in my weekly wrap-up, and I think it's very entertaining. I think it's nice to read, but I think it's not much more. So it was really so what novel. Why should I read this? What does it say to me about the human condition, apart from that some people are lonely when they are in their 40s? So that leaves me with Diane Cook, The New Wilderness, which was very close of making it on my shortlist, but it didn't do it because I decided myself to go for How Much of These Hills Is Gold by Sipam Zhang, which is a special history novel about the American West, about 2 Chinese girls trying to bury their father. This is a very unique story, and I think this will be on the shortlist, as well as the last title, as well as Sophie Ward's Love and Other Thoughts, because this is like a philosophical novel, which is like philosophical literature in literary fiction, which I think makes it kind of unique and interesting for the shortlist. The shortlist will be, and Avni Doshi is going to make it to the shortlist with her novel Burnt Sugar. That is another prediction. So the shortlist will look like this: Tsitsi Dangarembga, This Mournable Body; Avni Doshi, Burnt Sugar; Gabriel Krauze, Who They Was; Hilary Mantel, The Mirror and the Light; Sipam Zhang, How Much of These Hills Is Gold, and Sophie Ward, Love and Other Thoughts. See you at midnight British time on Tuesday, and you will see my live reaction video to that. Thank you very much for watching this. What are your predictions for the shortlist? Write it down in the comments below. Where was I wrong and why am I wrong? Please help me, and please open the discussion with me. I see you soon with the prediction for the National Book Award. I've already decorated a little bit behind me for some hints for that, long list that is expected on Friday. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.